Feminism is one of the most difficult topics to talk about actually, because before you know it, before you make one comment or two, you can be getting on some people's nerves, be getting in real trouble. Hey guys, yo, Oludamila here again, and I'm here to talk about Ogadinma by Ukamaka Olisakwe. You can see that the author does so much justice to the issue of feminism and breaking it down into its simplest form. One of the things I like about this book is actually the book cover. It's unique. You can easily tell that this is a lady, so you can know that the main character is a lady already. You can easily tell that this is a lady and she's having her eyes in something like this. That kind of eye you give someone. Yeah. All right. It's actually a very beautiful cover, purple colored, and yeah, it makes the book interesting. Yeah, you feel attracted to the book. You want to know what's going on in the book. That's one thing this cover does. Ogadinma is a literary fiction. It explores what is actually happening in real life and brings it into fiction. Alright, so I will be reading the synopsis of the book. It goes thus. Ukamaka Olisakwe's heart-wrenching novel tells the story of a naive and trusting Ogadinma as she battles against Nigeria's deeply ingrained patriarchal systems in the 1980s. A time of cool food shortages and religious extremism. After a rape and unwanted pregnancy leave her exiled from her family in Kano, thwarting her plans to go to university, she is sent to her aunt's in Lagos and pressured into a marriage with an older man. As their whirlwind romance descends into abuse and indignity, Ogadinma is forced to channel all of her independence and resourcefulness into finding her voice and strength in the face of abuse and cultural expectations. Did you get that? Now, beyond the synopsis, one of the things I would actually like to talk about first about this book is the writing. It's written in third person, so from a narrator's point of view, but the writing is so simple that even a 10 years old girl or a 10 years old boy would actually be able to understand what was going on at the time that this novel was set in those 1980s, during this the regime of head of states in Nigeria, blah blah blah. So this writing is actually very simple, and that's one thing. I was reading it alongside a couple of other books which I won't mention, but I started the other books, I started this, and I had to leave the other books because this one was easy to read. Even when you're tired, you don't need to start racking your head to actually get what you're seeing in the book. Here you get. So it's actually very simple to read, and that's one high point of this book. The book is set in the 1980s during the military regime, and it describes how the military had the control of the country then, how they were beating people. You can't go when you are in the bank, you are seeing military men, and different laws and policies that just keep people how do I put this now? Keep people suppressed, sort of. Yeah, those were dark times. Of course, those are dark times that we will never go back to again. Religious extremism was actually the order of the day. Then Muslims were killing people in the north, were fighting. You can, especially in the north back then, you can just be in front of your shop and a fight suddenly breaks out. So this religious extremism, it was an issue in Nigeria then, and this book actually captures a whole lot of that. One reservation of mine about this book now is that it's set in the 1980s, but when you read the book, you don't as the reader, I'm just saying it from my experience now, I didn't actually get the vibe of 1980 Nigeria. I don't know what Nigeria was like in 1980, of course, I was not born then, but you would actually expect a level of, should I say, archaicness now, if there's an English word like that. All right, but you would actually expect this, from movies we've seen, there's a vibe to 1980s Nigeria actually then. But when you read this book, it's more like a book that you feel like it's set in 2005, 2006, 2007, not so far back. But of course, the author tries to go back into history to talk about the things, to demonstrate the things that were actually happening in Nigeria then. Specific events, the kind of events that actually happened in Nigeria in 1980, bringing it into the narrative of this book. It was actually well done, but of course, the writing pattern, I don't know how to describe this, but I think the best word to use is vibe. I didn't get that vibe of 1980. Now, coming to the story, it's it's not Ogadinma is in this novel, this book, not the name of the character now. This book, it's not those kind of book that want to actually take you on a journey per se, like you are looking forward to something happening. No, it's more like a book that chronicles the life of. It's just the chronicling of the life, of that main character, Ogadinma, how her life was when she was 17 years old. So it's more of a chronicle of her life, not like taking you from one point to the other per se. Yeah, so it started from when she wanted to get admission and the father sent her to meet Barrister Chima to help her with admission, blah, blah, blah. And of course, patriarchy was actually the order of the day then. But right from the start of this story, right from the beginning, I was actually fighting already, like, what on earth is wrong with this main character? Like, why are you daft? Sorry to use that word, but you'd feel like, are you stupid? Like, why would you do this? Why would you do that? But yeah, I had to keep reminding myself that she's 17. I think she's 17 then, and it's 1980s, so it's not 2000s that you can get admission into university without any help as a lady. So she was a lady in 1980s, but when I read the synopsis, I was talking about she was subject to rape and unwanted pregnancy. Now, when you are reading the book, the rape that actually happened there, it's not this typical rape that we've seen in all these Nollywood movies that she's forced, the man forces himself on her or anything. It's I don't want to say it's consensual. It like she knew what she was getting into, right? But I think why it is still called rape in this novel is because of the fact that the man in question, Barrister Chima, was abusing his power, right? And when you are abusing your power to actually have sexual interactions and intercourse with a female or a male, as the case may be, it's rape. Because it's not something that she would wake up and want on a normal day. She wants something and you are forcing her to do your bidding, so it's rape. So that's the scenario. Then the author described how that she knew that was what the guy wanted. She gave him herself, but she hated every minute of it, blah blah blah. Of course, how they would, but you would be like, assuming it was a case where the guy forced himself, you would have how do I put this now? You would, as the reader, you wouldn't be so harsh on the main character. But the fact that it did not happen once, twice, or 3 times, it happened a number of times before she even got pregnant. So it will make you want to hate the main character at first. But then as the novel progresses, we progress to where she was pregnant. She went to a fake doctor now. I don't know how they remove pregnancy, but the process of removing the baby in the novel was so, I was cringing, like, God, I couldn't imagine. I had to just, I had to just speed over on that side and just move on because I can't imagine it. The pain she must have gone through, Ogadinma, the pain she must have gone through, it's really heart-wrenching. I pitied her then. Then a lot of complications arose, and the thing about removing pregnancy is if not done right, the womb can be damaged and all those stuff. So she was having pains and she was even scared that probably she was not going to give birth again, which she later did in the novel anyway. But she removed the pregnancy. The father found out that she was pregnant under his roof and she even removed it. It was pained because, and in her family, her aunt had similar issue and it kind of toppled her life. She was sent away from home and all those stuff. But being the daughter of her father could not send her away per se, but the father sent her to Lagos to another aunt in Lagos, and at that aunt's place she was did I just say plate? Anyways, at that aunt's place, English is hard. At that aunt's place, she was made to actually fall in love and marry Toby. Yeah, Toby is the husband of Ogadinma. Yeah, she got married to Toby and they started living together. But over time, his business started nosediving, started having issues with the military. They arrested him, asked him to pay fines. He did not pay it because it was a bribe, but they did not release him. So by the time he was done with all these troubles and everything, he lost his house, lost his business, lost everything, and he started descending into depression. You know, someone that has lived a large life before, you know, and you just have to now manage in a house that is not the standard of the house you lived in before. You have a wife, and there's even now a child coming because the wife was pregnant. So, but even in those times she was pregnant, he maltreated her, abused her, beat her. There were times that her eyes were swollen, and of course, trust me, Tobe's character is not one you would actually love. Nah, you love him from the start, but nah, you won't love him towards the end of the book. So don't look forward to Tobe. And Ogadinma now had to get to a point in her life where she had to leave her child and the husband. She ran away. Why? Because the oppression was just too much, the abuse was just too much. She had to run away. After she ran away, she went to her auntie's place. She came back to Lagos. Then she saw the husband's friend in person of Kelechi, and she went to where he was in Haba, I think. She went to his office, and on page 29, Ukamaka did something. She did something that I never saw coming. You know, it blew me away to the extent that I had to tweet about it instantly that, oh my God. She was seated opposite the guy, and because of what she was feeling, she wanted attention, she wanted someone to touch her and all this stuff, and she just made a move on the guy. And of course, sharp guy, he did nothing and just enjoyed the moment, and they had a brief affair after that, and he set her up, he gave her a place to stay and all this stuff. And even she, you know, at that point, she had gotten to a level where she was bold enough to express herself, to express whatever she wanted. So after the brief affair, she just decided that, guy, I ain't continuing this, you know. She said she was not going to do it anymore, and she just moved on. You know, that was the level of confidence you never saw coming. Like when you are comparing that Ogadinma with the Ogadinma that started the book with you, you know, the evolution was actually massive, and it just happened so seamlessly, you know. And I really love that evolution about her. Actually, I really love the evolution. She came from someone that you would say was stupid to being someone that was confident on herself. You know, in the 1980s, women had to dress, you have to be seen as responsible and all those stuff. But she got to a point where she was not even scared anymore if her cleavage was showing. She dressed whatever way she wanted to dress. She went clubbing, and she was hooking up with guys and all those stuff. That was where the story actually ended. After she just decided to move on with life and just express herself, you know, be expressive. It was actually an interesting journey to actually see her as someone that I felt like slapping when she was having an episode with Barrister Chima to the time after Kelechi and all those stuff. It was actually very impressive. The writing was superb. It was not forced. Nothing was forced. You know, you will be glad that you were on that journey with her, and you saw her become, I don't know, probably there are some guys that actually want ladies that are so crazy about this patriarchal system, and you just want to be the man of the house and all those stuff, and maltreat women. Nah, I actually enjoy the story probably because I like women being bold like that, you know, expressive. This is the 21st century, for crying out loud. Like, it's the 21st century, and I'm happy that Ogadinma actually lived her life the way she wanted it on her own dictate. Yeah, that's a very good one. You would actually enjoy it if you are not someone that is crazy about it's the guys are the men of the house, they are lord over all and other stuff. If you are not some of those guys. That's that about the story. It's actually very interesting. If you enjoyed this book review, kindly subscribe to the channel. Yeah, that subscribe button down there. Like the video or dislike it if you don't like my voice, and you can also share it with your friends, share it with book lovers, someone that wants to read Ogadinma and does not know if he should read it or not. Share the video, like the video, subscribe. Till I come your way again, my name is Damola. Use your mask, stay safe, and be good. Peace out.